Welcome to the In Your City show. We thought we would go ahead and finish out the week in holiday, or no, not holiday, Halloween style. With our groovy look we have going. Or maybe it was just easier in picking out something else to wear. We just stay in Halloween spirit or whatever like
I
that.
don't know, but this hair is driving me absolutely nuts. It's like I am not used to it.
That's how it is
just
to
put
be
it in a man bun.
someone that has long hair. Now you know why guys wear man buns. And then second,
Now I look like Joe Edwards.
you have bad hair days, so you either got to wear a hat or you got to figure out what to do with the hair, stick it back in a ponytail. But yeah, as much as you play with your hair, I am very thankful you don't have any.
Oh my gosh.
Because you would never get out the door.
Being bald is so easy. Just get up, shower, and out the door.
And look, you're still trying to get hair
crazy. It keeps
still trying to get her out of your face. So you know what? We are going to be kicking off the show with a little shebang. We got Kat Mues in, who's going to give us what's rocking in our city. And then Marcus Theaters. Let's find out what those blockbusters are. And then we got a great guest on. We're going to talk about what's the four figures. Do you know? Because we're going to find out.
The four figures?
The four figures. We're going to find out what that's all about too in the latter part of hours. So I need to ask you.
Okay.
In Halloween tradition.
Okay.
In what decade did trick-or-treating as we know it today become popular in the United States?
What decade?
Yep. You could, if you want to say a year, but decade. It's a 10-year span there, so.
In the 1930s.
Good job. 1930s to 1940s.
I was just trying to think back.
Popular.
You know how you see all those creepy pictures of kids with the Easter Bunny, and the Easter Bunny looks scary.
Yeah,
those were pretty old.
Those are pretty old. There
so I'm thinking, yeah.
And those crazy costumes that we wear. All right, now, early on our last show, I'd asked the question that what monster movie was the first to show, which was the most commercially successful horror movie? And you all had answered incorrectly, and it was It from 2017 is the most commercially successful horror movie. But which horror movie features a character wearing a William Shatner mask?
Oh, that would be Halloween.
Now, there's your correct answer. So Michael Myers mask.
I just saw that the other day. They had taken Captain Kirk's mask and
you just read about
it? So I got lucky.
I never knew that was a Shatner's Captain Kirk mask.
Oh, I didn't either.
I mean, I'm very familiar with the mask, but I didn't realize that. Now you think about it, I think I can remember at some point seeing that. On there. So yeah, so very good. You know.
I wonder if there's the guy that played Michael Myers in the movie. I wonder if he did any William Shatner stuff. You know, because William Shatner was always like, "I've got to go now. We got to get in the bridge." He always does all these pauses. That's how he always talked.
You know everybody's mannerisms. It cracks me up. All right, according to superstition, say that the right way now.
Apparently,
according to superstition. If you see a spider on Halloween night, what does it mean? Is it just, I guess it's just Halloween, because I see them every day. You need to call the exterminator. That would be one good answer. I won't say that's wrong. What else?
It's good luck.
They say that the spirit of a loved one is watching over you if you see a spider on Halloween night.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure all of us could probably walk out somewhere around our house,
see a spider,
and see a web, and look for a spider.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna look for one on Halloween night and see if that helps me feel like they're there for me. So with that,
is that all you got?
Banging out Halloween information. Why don't you take us to SheBang? Are they wearing a costume?
What?
Can you not hear with all that hair?
Yeah.
Let's take it to SheBang and see what's going on with them. Help us to clear our thoughts, and I don't know, maybe help me with my new permed hair.
Hi friends, welcome back to Fast Track Fridays. I'm Laurie.
And I'm Dodie.
And today's episode is a little softer, a little deeper. This one's not about supplements or skincare or, menopause symptom hacks. This is about the chapter that we are in and the ones that we actually thought we'd be in by now.
We've been asking ourselves lately, if your life were actually a book, what chapter are you currently in? And we're not talking about the polished version, not the one you post on Instagram trying to impress everybody, but the real messy, raw chapter you're actually living in right now.
So for me, I think that I'm somewhere between closing a chapter and beginning a new one that I never thought I would get to write. I've been divorced twice, and those endings were so incredibly painful. and they really force me to get honest with myself about my patterns and my needs and the kind of love that I actually wanted. Because of that, I spent 9 years alone, and I had to learn how to love myself in a much deeper way. And I had to learn how to build a life that felt solid from the inside out. And now I'm engaged, and I'm engaged to a guy who's pretty perfect for me. And it's not because he completes me, but because I finally know who I am. And this season feels like a new beginning, and I'm really excited. But I'm also so grateful for that stretch of time when it was just me, because that's where I met the version of myself who was finally ready to start over for real.
So I feel that so deeply. My only son, my joy, my life, just got married in May.
Sweet Jake.
And, yeah. And I adore his wife. I couldn't ask for a more wonderful daughter-in-law. There's this quiet little ache I wasn't expecting, because for so long it was just the two of us. I raised him by myself. It was always just him and I. We were a team. And now I'm sitting in the house asking myself, what do I want now? What does life look like for just Dodie, just me? So I don't think we talk enough about how disorienting that moment is when it comes, when no one needs you the way that they used to.
Oh,
and
I
it's
know.
very saddening.
So many of us mamas go through that.
Yep.
Yeah, midlife gets pitched as this like sexy reinvention era, and maybe it is, but the truth is sometimes it starts with a little bit of heartbreak or a door closing or just a moment when you look around and you go, wait, who am I now?
And that's the part of the book where the main character is standing in the wreckage or the quiet of all the stillness. And you just have to take it all in. She has to decide, do I just keep doing what I've always done, or do I write something new? And I know I'm writing something new.
It's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where you are right now too. Maybe you're staring at the blank page, trying to figure out what comes next. Or maybe you're in a chapter that no one sees, one that's really heavy or sacred or unfinished.
Right. So actually, no matter where you are, we want to offer you some questions that helped us find our footing again. You can journal them, you can sit with a friend and talk about them. No pressure to fix anything. Just get honest with yourself, because that's the first thing you need to do.
Yeah. So here are the questions that helped us and we hope help you.
Right. So what chapter am I closing in my life, even if I haven't said it out loud yet? Yeah.
The second one is, what parts of my story have I outgrown? Even the ones that I thought I would never let go of.
Oh my gosh, yes, I love that one. If I could name the next chapter of my life, what would I call it?
That's exciting. The fourth one is, who or what do I need to release in order to move forward? That's a big one.
Oh my gosh, yes, so many releases. And number 5, what is one small thing that I can do this week to step into my new story? Yeah.
So fun. If your answers, if they bring up tears or anger or a big, I don't know, that's totally okay.
Own it.
Midlife is not like some tidy little season with a perfect bow on top of it. It can be messy, it can be beautiful, and guess what? It can crack you wide open.
Yes. Here's the thing. We get to keep the pen. We might not control every plot twist, every changing moment of our life, but we do get to choose how we show up for the rest of the story.
So wherever you are, if you're sitting in the ashes, been there, done that,
Yeah.
or the longing, if you're feeling the longing, or if you're in that weird in between, we see you, we are right there with you.
Right.
And if you want more reflection like this, or just a reminder that your story is not over, come on over and find us on Instagram at SheBang Menopause, or visit us at getshebang.com.
Right. And we do have our monthly subscription boxes. If you're not familiar with it, it is full of clean, hormone-friendly products, plus a whole community of women who are rewriting their lives in real time along with us.
So until next Friday,
keep that pen in your
write
hand,
write the chapter that you need, and don't worry about the story that the world expects of you.
So we are right
So
here.
we are right here cheering you on wherever your story goes next.
Bye.
Thank you, Dodie and Laurie. That was really great. I
Well-
noticed Dodie had her little spooky sweatshirt on.
Yeah.
She went all out on her costume. But they really talked about some really enlightening information, and I felt all of it because I am in that age area. I was stayed single for a very long time after divorce, and it's true. it's time to find yourself, and just think of the changes from who you were in your 20s, starting out in first marriage, and to where you are now later in life in a second marriage, and children grown. I mean, there's all these stages in life that you have that you go through, and that midlife arena, everybody does do something a little different. Some buy new cars, some do things they shouldn't do. I don't know what it is about getting
Some
it.
build greenhouses.
Some build greenhouses.
Don't let that one go.
But you do find different hobbies, different things, or you start to take a look at that. Wow, we're way past having another half to our life, should we be giving that privilege of living a long life. So it really does, make you think a little bit. And I think in my phase right now, I'm really ready to balance things out and move a little slower, just like, cutting my nails off and learning to play the guitar again and bringing that back out. That's really fun. Or wanting to play more golf.
You seem to really be enjoying that.
I'm really enjoying it, because when you're doing it, because I tend to be a bit of a workaholic, or I really try to overachieve maybe in what I do. I try to take on 20 tasks rather than just, which I'm not allowed to probably just take on one. I've got too many things I have to do, so I don't have the privilege of just working on one thing at a time. So when you play that guitar or do something different, it takes you out of that work zone, that grinding, constantly of
it's a
working.
great escape for you.
Yeah, it really is. And I think we all need that. You have that ability. Luckily, you can play music. It's easy for you, and you're able to do that.
Easy, but
well, it does come easy to you. The way you play and the way I play are two different things. But it's cool that you have something that you can do to take your mind off of things. And then when I can remember Carly going to college like it was yesterday, thinking, wow, you don't have this person in the house that you're taking care of and worrying about, even though you never quit worrying about your kids, even if
quiet. It was like, it was just me. It was
it
was an eerie quiet.
Yeah, it's really different when that happens. You do get used to it. Yeah. You do all of a sudden
you get
wow,
used to it, and then you're like,
this is really cool.
the quiet. No.
But I think it's good to know to embrace whatever it is you're going through, whether it's hard, easy, great. There are different stages. It's never too late to start again, never too late. And it's okay to go through the emotions of what you might be changing into. We all have been there in some sort of fashion, as long as you don't choose something that's going to hurt you or the people around you. And sometimes it does. Sometimes people's choices out of either a huge change in their life, trauma, sometimes it will make you react and make the wrong choice. So I think it's really a hard soul searching, like they gave those questions, kind of think about where you're at, and it's okay to be alone too. I think sometimes we feel like you have to be around somebody. It's okay to be alone and figure out what it is that you need. You don't have to constantly be surrounded by someone or something, right? Or something to ease the pain of maybe what you're going through. That's hard too. But so we do have our next guest that's going to be coming up in the second part of the hour. We're going to be speaking with Dana Hotle, and find out what the 4 figures is all about. But right now we're going to hear from Mues, always fabulous bands that are rocking it out in our city that you can go see and enjoy. Our friends Brian and Debbie went up to Diamond Music Hall, and what band did they go to see?
They went and saw, it was a Fortunate Son. It was a Creed's Clearwater Revival band.
Yeah.
And they saw, of course, Ed Callison and Pink Houses as well.
Right, he was there too. So always great things. So let's take it away. Let's see. Is she going to be in costume?
I don't know.
Let's find out.
Cat Mues here, and here's what's going on for your Halloween weekend in music. Friday, start off your Halloween night with Richie Callison at the Quarry in Woodsville. The Fry Project will be at Grafton Pub, and the Skylark Brothers will be at Flanagan's. Bad Habit will be at Roadhouse Barn and Grill, and Plastic Kings will be at Diamond Music Hall. Justice is served at BS Bar and Grill, and the Fade Outs will be at Backstage. Erin Joe's doing her All Hallows show at Shea, Maryland, and Smokin' Fogey is debuting at the Doghouse Bar and Grill. Self-Inflicted Rock Salvatores, right next door, the Lowercase G's will be at Rebar in St. Charles. Decades Apart will be at Kenny's, and also celebrating Zach's birthday. Happy birthday, Zach. drill is Melting Faces at Charlotte Pub, where all the best musicians play and the music matters. And the Brad Allen Band will be at St. Charles Music House. 2 bands, no waiting. The Electric Kool-Aid Experience, a Rob Zombie tribute, and Antichrist Superstar Marilyn Manson tribute, both bands at Brewski's in O'Fallon. Saturday, C2O is playing the Chop Rod Ramble and Hog Pit. There'll be a motorcycle swap meet, a rod show, a chopper show, pin-up contest, barbecue, adult beverages, all the goodies. I hope to see you there. Smokin' Fogies at Wiggler's 11th anniversary hog roast, and Acoustic Cat will be at La Belle V debut. Also on Saturday, Media Caverns having a huge Halloween party. Check out this lineup: Echoes of a Ghost, Cloud Machine, Stone Wielder, and Kirkos. It's gonna be a blast. That 80s band will be at Brewski's, and 10 Times Zero makes their debut at Charlotte Pub, where all the best musicians play. And Every Little Thing will be at St. Charles Music House. Sunday, Fun Day. Dave King will be at the Quarry in Wentzville. Live music is better. Thank you for supporting our artists and venues. Check out SGO on Monday night and have a safe Halloween weekend, St. Louis.
Well, how appropriate is Cat
Dressed as a cat.
dressed as a cat? What a perfect costume
I
she
didn't
had
think
there.
about that. That went right past me. Wow.
Seriously, I think
Yeah.
it's the hair. The hair's making you dumb.
What? I feel like Spicoli.
You look like
I don't know,
Spicoli.
Mr. Hand, since you're here and I'm here, doesn't it make it our time?
I think that does. Oh my gosh, it's weird. It literally makes you dumb.
It is
The way you're
blonde.
trying to see, the way you're doing it. Did you just say blonde?
Well, yes, I did.
I don't think it has affected my brain cells with my locks of curls that
No,
are
it
going on
hasn't.
right now. But
No, it
somehow or another, you just lost all your brain cells with it being Spicoli here. So, all right. So it's the weekend's coming up, approaching as well. Are there going to be Halloween movies? What was the blockbusters last week, and what's coming up this weekend? Let's hear from Marcus Theaters and see what's going to be, I guess, rocking in the theaters.
Yeah,
Can we say that?
playing at the theaters.
I know rocking just sounded
What's
cool
that?
after Cat.
It's going to be on the reel. Remember, yesterday used to be on a reel. Now it's just like digital. Yeah.
That's true. All right, let's see what's not on the reel anymore, but digital.
Hello everyone, Ian here. Happy Halloween week and welcome to a brand new spooky edition of the Marcus Recap. Starting with the box office results, at number 1 is Chainsaw Man with 17.2 million. In second, Black Phone 2 with 13 million. In third, Regretting You with 12.8 million. In fourth, Springsteen with 9.1 million. And in fifth, Tron Ares with 4.9 million. The 27th marks the next Marcus mystery movie. Heads up, this is not horror, but it is R-rated. Plenty of Fathom releases to look forward to. The 27th is your last day to catch Paranorman. And the 29th through the 2nd of November, you can join us for the Twilight series. Each day has a different movie. Also on the 29th, you can join us for our monthly trivia. It's the one everyone has been waiting for. Our Halloween horror trivia with halftime costume contest. On the 30th, you can join us for Back to the Future. On the 31st, celebrate Halloween with John Carpenter's Halloween. Also this weekend, starting the 31st, is the re-release of K-pop Demon Hunters. November 1st and 2nd is our Harry Potter marathon. And 2 new releases. First is Stitchhead, and second, Begonia, the latest from Yorgos Lanthimos and Emma Stone. This has been Ian with this week's edition of The Recap.
Thanks, Ian. Pretty good. Yeah. So it looks like the
Black
scary
Bolt.
movies are the top 2. The Twilight series. You can watch the whole
You
series.
love that, don't you?
I love it. You know, I loved the books, and I actually loved watching the movies. Even now watching them, it's still fun to watch. And I don't know if it's because I love vampire movies, but what is your favorite kind of scary movie? I mean, some people like Saw, or there's Halloween.
love-
What's your kind of scary movie?
I don't know if it's scary movies, but I love like the Twilight Zone stuff like that. That makes
Still
you
like them when you watch them now?
well, yeah, because I know them. But when you first see them, it makes you think. You know, there's always it kind of makes you think.
Well, that's
While
kind of
you're
how they're
watching it.
written.
Like the one where I'll never forget the one where the astronauts leave and they come back to Earth, and they don't know if they're on Earth or some other planet. But it's like all the people are just still. They're real people, but they don't move. but you can hear them talk and mentally hear them talk.
I don't remember that one. Did they come back in a different time? Were they on Earth? Did you find out the meaning of the
No,
show?
they always kind of leave you questioning things.
I remember as a kid loving the Twilight Zone, but the other one that I really liked as a kid, it's just the intro scared me half to death. You know, your little things are so much scarier. I can't believe the things
Night
that
Gallery? Was it Night Gallery?
Night Gallery.
Yeah.
The opening of that was super cool and eerie, and I guess, you know, went into a painting, you know, and then tell a little bit of the backstory. Alfred Hitchcock, I watched it and liked it. He scared me, I think, more than the show did. There was something eerie about him when he came into the, you know, to talk about, you know, the show.
Evening.
Yeah, I think that scared me more than anything. I remember as a kid watching The House on the Haunted Hill.
Yeah.
Wasn't that with the not Alfred Hitchcock? Oh my gosh, he's from Missouri.
I don't know who you're talking about, but anyway.
The House on the Haunted Hill.
Yeah, but I don't know who you're talking about. So
He's the scary guy that grew up in Missouri, lived in Missouri.
oh,
Gosh, I know I've ruined you by saying Alfred Hitchcock. Sorry.
you said Alfred Price, Vincent Price.
Vincent Price, thank you. I'm so glad you got it because it almost hurts my head when something's on the tip of the.
I'm like, let's move on because they don't want to see her away from
There's
us.
someone yelling right now going, oh my God.
Vincent Price, he lived on Forsyth by Wash U. Okay.
Move on. But even as a kid, I can remember watching like Abbott and Costello and their spooky show.
Abbott and Costello always bothered me because the guy that kept slapping Abbott all the time used to make me so mad. I'd be like, quit slapping the bad guy. You know, I can't help it.
I'd love if a Saturday was a rainy day and then there'd be a scary movie and you could always just turn on the channel, you know, and as soon as you turn on the channel, something might be playing. You're like, oh my gosh, you know, be a scary movie. Whereas
you can't get tired of Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
No,
that was a good one.
The Munsters, their specials sometimes scared me. When the monster in the basement or whatever, it's weird when you're Spot. It's weird when you think of shows like that are completely comedy, you know, scared, you know, as a kid. But now the movies, I mean, very seldom do you have a really truly scary movie. They're just kind of grotesque rather than really a scary, haunting. I stopped by to see Kylan, that's our grandson, and I'm watching Scream with him. I'm like, I mean, it was nothing but stabbing and horror. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, not only our 12-year-old, but our 8-year-old.
Complete horror into something funny.
Yeah. Well, Scream's not funny. It's Scary Movie. That's the comedic Scary Movie. I got confused too, but Scream is a high schoolers, you know, scary. It is a scary movie.
Why is it always high schoolers are getting killed in these movies?
And it's
like,
funny.
Did they make it because
they were doing the rules?
Adults are smart enough to turn the light on.
Right. You're not supposed to walk into a room with the light off. You're not supposed to go anywhere alone. And you definitely don't go make out because that's when you're always going to get taken out when you're making out. Right. And that always happens. And don't turn your back. You need to have they had all the rules. And of course, they all got stabbed, everybody that was learning the rules. But those are good. All right. Well, I'm going to give you one before we take it to a commercial break. True or boo? So is this statement true or boo for being false?
Okay.
The word Halloween comes from All Hallows Eve.
True.
Yes, it's the night before All Saints Day. So good job. You started out with a win there, Gordon, but I've got several more as we go to the show.
Okay.
Want to give a big shout out, of course, to our magazines, City Lifestyle, Clayton, Chesterfield, and St. Charles. City Lifestyle magazines, they are mailed every single month to 45,000 homes, 3,000 businesses, bringing you incredible stories about people in our communities who are thriving and making a difference, and not only in their life, of course, but in other people's life. And it is those businesses, those people out there that are making a difference that keep our cities so strong. So we love telling their stories, and we love to say thank you to those businesses inside of our pages that truly are the lifeblood of allowing us to tell these great stories and shine a light to those in our community that are making such a big difference. So thank you to all our advertisers, one of those being St. Louis Closet Company. We appreciate Jennifer Williams and all that she brings to St. Louis with supporting local with Closet for a Cause, her community toy drive, which is one of the largest, I think in Missouri and maybe larger, that are collecting toys for the holiday season. She is all about local, custom storage units that are not a one size fits all. No matter what you need, she has it for you. And the cool thing about it is they actually build everything on site. So you're not worried about tariffs and all of those crazy things that go into building that project that you've been looking forward to, making your life not so chaotic. So Jennifer will tell you, go from calm. No, you're going to go to calm. Go from chaos to calm.
There you go.
Check out Jennifer Williams, her team, which are absolutely incredible, right here in St. Louis, right over there on Big Bend, St. Louis Closet Company. Thank you so much. So with that, we're going to take it to commercial break, but don't go anywhere. We got some more True or Boo, and you're going to meet our guest, Dana Hotle, who is going to be here talking about the four figures. Let's find out more. We'll be right back with the In Your City show at the Lou Information Station. Not changed yet. We are still in our spectacular groovy costumes.
Man.
Yeah, for Spicoli over
Well,
here.
dude.
Oh my God, I said he's lost brain
Spicoli.
cells with that hairdo
I
on.
know. It's driving me crazy. Hair in my mouth.
Not doing well whatsoever. So here we are in the second half of the show, and we are welcoming Dana Hotle. So I apologize for coming up with my own rendition of her last name. Hotle is how you say it. With the four figures, a chamber project, St. Louis, blending artistry and passion through classical music that connects audiences in powerful new ways. So thank you for joining us. You know, we really appreciate it. And, you know, you are one of our last interviews here at the Lou Information Station. We thought we'd go out in groovy style. Of course, our show tonight, and then Friday plays, and the In Your City show is going to continue, but on a different level or whatever, just because we, as everyone knows, or anyone that
Still
knows
be on
us,
all your streaming.
yep, 24/7. The content still is there at Lou Info. There'll still be more at the In Your City show. But we own 3 magazines, as we mentioned, Clayton, Chesterfield, and St. Charles, and it is an endless amount of work putting these magazines out every month. We still want to meet new people and be able to tell stories, so we'll still be doing that. But we look forward to giving a cheers to you and take one of our hot list books, because you've made the hot list, and take that with you, and you'll be our signature on our guest book. So we appreciate that too. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the four figures. First of all, I know that tell us about these four figures and what each one means. Give us a little bit of background on this.
Well, can I rewind a little bit
Okay,
further?
let's do that.
Okay, so we are a group that presents chamber music, and this is our 18th season. And one of the things that makes our ensemble unique is that we say when you follow Chamber Project St. Louis, you end up getting a tour of your own city, because we don't play each concert in the same venue. We like to go out and play in different venues, and then every year we'll repeat. Like we always play Schlafly Tap Room, and you know there's repeat venues each year, but within a year we don't repeat a venue very. I mean, sometimes we'll do something twice somewhere, but you know we go to museums and we play in libraries. And we new this year is we partnered with Landmarks Association of St. Louis, and they're a historical improvement and protection. They help historic sites get the permits and awards and get restructured and rebuilt. And so they're very involved in the historical architecture of St. Louis. And we connected with them, and they gave us this enormous list of really cool sites in St. Louis that aren't traditional concert sites, but would be really cool places to have concerts. So that's how we ended up at Soldiers Memorial, and they helped us make some connections. And so we're calling this our landmark series, our landmark concert series. So we're going to these St. Louis landmarks, and the very first one is in November on the 23rd at Soldiers Memorial, where outside, so if you can picture downtown where what do they call it now? Stiefel. Right? It's Caddy Corner across from that.
Exactly.
And there's this big memorial. I had no idea how cool that building was. I'd never been in it. It's this amazing Art Deco venue, that building and museum that's been completely rehabilitated with all the historic preservation and details, and they did incredible job like preserving and enhancing this incredible
things like this, right?
It's an amazing building, and the exhibits are great. You know, it's part of the Missouri Historical Society. So it's really well done. And there are so many cool features. And one of the great things about my job is when I'm seeking out these venues, I end up meeting the directors and the curators, and I get a tour of the museum by the museum director. And, it's really an incredible place. And so we are doing a concert there. And we love then to also, all of our concerts have a theme. And so we try to, as much as possible, tie into the venues when we're doing things like this. Like we do special curated programs for the art museum that tie to their exhibit. We've done those at the history museum. And so this one is tying into that building. And on the exterior of the building, on the south and north sides of the building, are these 4 enormous statues by, I think it's Walter Hancock is his name. And he's this incredibly famous sculptor who happens to be from St. Louis. And so he designed those sculptures, and they even have this really interesting history. And as a war memorial, and the history of that memorial is, I'm not going to tell you all of it here. You have to come to the concert. But it's
Leave us
visited
in
itself.
limbo.
But it's like kind of a thing that almost didn't happen. It almost didn't come to be. And the president came, and anyway, there's this whole story. And these statues they're enormous statues. And you kind of see them from far away. You don't realize quite how huge
they
they
are.
are. And they're beautiful. Each one has a equine, a Pegasus, and then a human figure. One is also holding a baby. And so they each then represent a value that is, they wanted to feature for veterans or for people in the service, and what
Yeah.
that is to be in the service.
I see courage,
Courage,
vision, loyalty, and sacrifice
yes,
brought to life through
through
music.
music. So what we did is we went and
Beautiful.
found music or composers who connect to those 4 things: courage, vision, sacrifice, and
Loyalty.
And so the concert is about an hour, and we have 4 very different pieces of music to illustrate those. Also at the museum, their upcoming exhibit, which will be open by then, is about the atomic era. And so we've also managed to tie in one of the pieces to vision into the atomic era, which was you're just at the end of it with your costume.
See, we knew what we were doing.
You're kind of like the backlash.
We knew what we were doing back then. We were taking it all in.
This was the counterculture to the atomic era, right?
Yeah, and so you have even people that are playing. So it looks like you have Elizabeth Poston,
Elizabeth Poston, she's a composer, British
trio for
composer.
flute, and they have her as Courage.
Right, so she's Courage. She was this incredible British woman. She was a composer, and she began to host one of the first, because so radio was new, and she began to host one of the first classical music programs on the radio. And because she had that knowledge of how radios worked, they put her to work sending secret messages through the radios.
Wow.
As part of the resistance during the war.
I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty cool. And then she just like went on to be this illustrious composer. It's a really, really cool piece too.
Wow.
We've done it before, and I love playing it. It's one of my favorites. It's
Now I
very
can't
beautiful.
even pronounce the next name. Nilofar Norbakash.
Yeah,
White helmets.
She's
Sacrifice.
Iranian composer, Iranian American composer. She goes by Nilo, so she's sensitive.
Much easier.
Yeah. So her piece is this is Sacrifice,
Yes.
and her piece White Helmets is an organization that during the war in Syria that just happened. That's a civilian force that I think kind of self-organized, and they would go into these buildings that had been bombed and save people.
Wow.
And so they would wear white helmets as like, don't shoot us. We're just trying to, it's like the flag, but they're wearing white helmets. And so there was a big organization that sprouted up around that to support that work. And so she wrote a piece about them during that war. And so that's Sacrifice.
And then you have John Cage, Vision.
I'm so excited about this one.
I love that.
So John Cage, to me, he was a very experimental artist and composer. and he dabbled in several art forms, more than dabbled. But as an American composer, he was really pushing the envelope of what is music, what is performance. This piece is like, the idea is, it's called living room music.
Mhm.
And so this is atomic era, like what the world of possibility has just opened up, right, in both bad and good ways. Like there was this huge cultural shift during the atomic era in the 50s, like after post-war, post-World War II. And so this piece is a part of that, just like completely reimagining our culture and our society. But it's very playful in that we are playing, we are going to find our instruments in our living room, and we use common things you would find in your living room as the actual instruments that we'll be
So
playing.
this is where kids got the idea to play pots and pans.
It's right. If he had kitchen music, but he has a piece called Water Music, which uses kitchen things. I mean,
Wow.
it's wildly inventive
Mhm.
and like very, very playful, but he's very serious about it.
Sure.
You know, like it's a very interesting juxtaposition between chance, like just what could happen, and something that's very fastidiously organized.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Well, and our last one, Claude
Debussy.
Yeah.
Debussy.
Debussy.
Yeah, I don't know.
There is loyalty.
Loyalty. So Claude Debussy is a very famous French composer, writes very beautiful, lush melodies. This is a gorgeous piece. And Debussy was very, very upset by what he witnessed in World War I, and just crushed him, how brutal and the violence. And his response to that was very much to continue to write really, really beautiful music. And that loyalty to and faith in the human spirit is something that can be beautiful and, you know, create beautiful things, as he was witnessing all this horrible stuff in the war.
Yeah.
So that's loyalty to beauty.
So classical music is usually thought of as traditional, right? But this ensemble, from what I'm reading and seeing, of course, I haven't been there, has a very modern, approachable style to it. So how did you make the classic music feel fresh and relatable?
Well, yeah, I think the way we approach that in several ways, and I think for us it's really important that the music we perform, who writes the music and who's playing the music, represents our community. And then there's an instant connection. You know, if we're only playing music that was written 200 years ago by men who lived in Europe, yeah, that's great music. We don't have a problem with we call our beloved dead white guys. They're great. Like,
Beloved
there's
dead
nothing wrong with those guys, you know, we love them. But also, like, we want to represent who we are. And so that's why we play a lot of music by living composers. We play a lot of music by composers who were historic, you know, they may be dead now, but historically they were kind of pushed off to the side, you know, because they weren't you know, a white male basically in institution. You know, the classical music is a very big institution, you know. And so, or just hidden gems from composers, you know, we love that. And we play Claude Debussy, who's an establishment composer all the way. I mean, he was president of the Paris Conservatory, right? So
Yeah.
very establishment. And so we like to bring those things together to make them all relevant to each other. I think by playing composers of the past with composers of today, we are making it more relevant.
Yeah.
So the Chamber Project St. Louis, that you guys bring musicians together from different backgrounds and instruments. What is the magic of this collaboration for you? I mean, how does that energy come alive on stage for you?
I think that we have curated a internal, you know, us as an organization and the musicians we work with, they are really passionate about our programming because they get to play stuff with us. They don't get to play anywhere else. And we're very, very, I mean, behind the scenes, what we're doing to put together the programs is like, we really think about it a lot. Like there's a lot of research and work that goes into it. And the programs themselves are very rich and rewarding from an artistic perspective for the musicians. Like it's really rich for us to play this music. And, you know, we've become friends. And it's always like, or there's someone new, you know, someone moves and then there's someone new who comes in, or someone, you know, so there's this sort of like coming in of the old and the new, right? That keeps it fresh.
How does that process happen? How do you find the people to bring in for this
all kinds of
project?
different ways. So the
Is it
classical,
easier or harder finding the people from all different ways first
I
in
don't
this
know.
time? It's just a process, but it's
Just a process.
we'll go ahead and sorry, finish.
Yeah, so it's usually a word of mouth kind of thing. Sometimes people will, hey, I'm new in town. They'll come in and introduce themselves. So
Younger, older? What age category do you have coming in?
I both. All
Really?
of it,
That's
yeah.
wonderful to
Not so much
know.
older than me, but there's, we meet someone who's been here a while. We just
Yeah.
don't know them, or
But to
whatever,
keep the
so-
love and the influence of classical music
Yeah.
and music of all sorts, to the newer generations that are coming
Yeah.
in, that's so important.
Yeah, and it's nice to bring in people who've kind of studied music in different places than I have or whatever, because some of us have all learned at certain institutions, and then you bring in somebody who studied in Europe or studied it in a conservatory in Canada, or like a different place, a different kind of musical subculture,
Right.
and you get these fresh ideas and these fresh ways of doing things. That's it's
How
really
challenging is it to play different places? Because you're used to, let's say, the symphony. They're used to playing the same place. They go
all the
there,
time.
They're ready.
Yeah.
But when you play different, I mean, as a musician, not like you guys. I mean, let's take that back. I was a singer, so that doesn't count as a musician. I just grab my mic and got on stage. But I mean, I can't only, it's hard to understand. Is it difficult for you to be going to these different places? Is that a challenge?
Yes,
Oh,
it is
lighting
a
and
challenge.
sound and-
It is a challenge. Both lighting and sound can be
Because
challenging.
the acoustics are different and everywhere you go.
So we've learned to try to vet the venues a little bit. We've learned a lot in 18 years.
Yeah.
What works in a venue and what doesn't.
Right.
And so there are some parameters that we know to look for, lighting being one of them. We definitely have had a couple. Now most of us play off iPad, so it isn't so much an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
But
gosh, yeah.
yeah, we need to see the music.
Starting pages, it's falling off the stand.
Oh
my gosh.
Sight lines can be an issue. There are things, but we've learned to, do some vetting, and our audience has learned to trust us. Like, we're not going to take you
Right.
to a bad venue. We want to play in a good venue. It is hard, the acoustics, especially since we're acoustic. There's no one behind a sound machine to help us
Right.
like balance the sound. And
Mhm.
so we have to sometimes figure things out really, really fast.
I know you're really excited about this venue you're getting ready to do. Excluding this one, what has been your favorite place to play?
Oh, what's my favorite place? I love playing at this little venue called The Chapel, which is attached to Memorial Presbyterian Church on Skinker. It's very small, but there's an actual stage. So I don't know. It's just got a great vibe.
Yeah,
I
really love
love playing at the art museum. I
I
love
bet that would
that.
be wonderful.
Yeah, we're in their auditorium. It's a beautiful auditorium. For chamber music. That's another favorite place to play.
So
Well,
let's
with
talk.
the-
Yeah, let's talk
well,
about
with
the
the-
upcoming event.
So if someone wants to be able to experience the Four Figures live and watch this performance, that of course that is through, of course, the Chamber Project St. Louis,
Mhm.
how would they go about this?
Well, our website is a great place to start.
Okay.
Which is chamberprojectstl.org. It's also up on the Soldiers Memorial History. They all share a tab under the Missouri Historical Society. Or they each have a tab, I should say. It's up on theirs. It is free, which is great.
Wow, that's
Thank you
really
to the museum
incredible.
for supporting it. Really incredible. And but they want ticket reservations.
Sure,
'cause
I just want to know who's going to be attending.
it's not an enormous room. It's chamber music. It's meant to be very intimate.
Right.
So it's maybe 100 seats. So I would
Definitely make
grab your
reservations.
free ticket. Yeah. Or make your reservations. Yeah.
So definitely go to Chamber Project St. Louis and you'll be able to see the Four Figures there that they can
Mhm.
be able to reserve their tickets.
Yeah.
And again, this event takes place when?
November 23rd, which is a Sunday at 2:00, and it'll be about an hour long.
Gosh, how wonderful. That sounds great. It's going to be a great experience and what an amazing way to be able to listen to music, right? Well, of course, it is Halloween. We're getting ready to go. So before we go, I've got a couple true or boo. The world's heaviest pumpkin weighed more than a small car. Is that true or boo?
True.
All right. Over 2,700 pounds, heavier
The
than a
Great
Toyota
Pumpkin.
Corolla. The
Charlie Brown.
True or boo? Black cats were once thought to bring good luck. True or boo? To bring good luck.
Boo.
I'm gonna say true because
Are you going to go opposite?
yeah.
All right. You win. True.
Ah!
In ancient Egypt and parts of
Oh.
England, they were considered lucky and sacred. All right, one more before we go. True or boo? Monster Mash was banned by the BBC when it first came out.
I hope so.
True. 1962, they thought it was too morbid for radio. So
Morbid.
too morbid for radio. So here we go. It's the end of our show. We've had a blast. Thank you to Lou Information Station for having the In Your City show here. And as our classic, always the way that we end our show is we always want to make sure to tell you to have an amazing evening. Don't miss a minute of life. It goes by too quickly. But what do you do when you drink a drink, right? You say cheers. So, cheers. Cheers. All right, there you go. Cheers, Lou Information Station and the In Your City show. We'll be back with more fun. Don't you worry. So, see y'all. Good night.